season 3 of From the Nosebleeds, a new NBA league year, technically not season quite yet. We're still months away from that.
Ways away, ways
Yeah,
away.
few 3 months away from that. But summer league wrapped up a couple weeks ago. I have been in Maine and on a trip in Boston, so I have not been home for a while, and I've been busy. Both of us been busy. Just summer, summer from college type of thing. Um,
Yeah,
and
hard
yeah,
hard to match schedules sometimes, but we're
yeah.
we're back.
But yeah, as they say, when From the Nosebleeds goes on a break, the NBA explodes. So we are here to talk about all that has happened in this offseason in 3 parts. Today we'll be knocking down all of the more notable trades, at least from this offseason, such as Giannis to Miami, Ja to the Blazers. I don't know why I'm blanking.
Aaron Wiggins to
Jaylen Brown
Atlanta,
to Aaron Wiggins to Atlanta, Lou Dort to Atlanta, like those kinds of things.
Risa
Um,
Shea to Dallas.
Reese to Dallas, yeah, and them hard to Atlanta. We'll be talking about stuff like that today. Um, but real quick, I just asked you before we start recording. I had to stop myself. What is the new intro song for season 3? Season 1, we had a Gunna song. Season 2, we had a Gunna song, the AJ song. What is season 3?
I want to think it's something basketball related, but I also want to just say "Whoa" by Prada Bag Shotty.
Yo,
But I also don't know if you could find something that's like clean.
it's just the
I don't
instrumental.
know. Yeah, the instrumental would be tough. I don't know. I
All
just
right,
like that song.
well,
That song's become so popular recently, but that it fits. Like it's a good song because it's recognizable. But I've also loved it for like forever.
yeah, we'll put up. I'll put up an Instagram story asking you
Do we
guys
got
what your
do we
suggestions
got
are.
any player? Do we got any like player themes? I'm trying to think. Like
Should we do Changes by Tupac? That's the new Washed anthem. Have you seen those
I
on
haven't
TikTok?
I haven't heard it as the Washed anthem. I can't
Bro, I've
lie.
been reposting them like crazy. Like Pelicans DeAndre Jordan is like, and that's how it's supposed to be. Da-da-dun,
Can't say I
da-da-dun,
see it.
da-da-dun. That's just the way it is. Bro, it's such a washed anthem. But we're not washed.
Yeah,
That's the
that's.
thing, we're not washed.
I don't think we could use that. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we're not washed.
Uh, I don't know. We'll
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 put it on
pick it. We'll
Instagram.
pick an anthem
Yeah,
eventually.
we'll put it on Instagram by the time that,
We'll pick an
we're up
anthem.
and rolling in season 3, there'll be one up. So we'll figure that out. But Zach, real quick, how has been your last month since the NBA season ended? I know it did not end the way that you wanted to. We're not going to talk about that at all. But just how has life been and other things like that since we last recorded?
It's been great, man. I mean, summer's time of relaxation. I've had my internship to deal with, but I've also been relaxing. I've been enjoying a break from just doing everything really.
Yeah,
Chud maxing, some might call it.
Jesus Christ.
But no, summer's been awesome. But I'm so ready to get back to Phoenix already. Like
Yeah,
I love Texas, and Texas has a place in my heart. But like I'm tired. I miss Phoenix. I miss
yeah,
being in college.
for real. Yeah. Let's without further ado, let's get into it, bro. I'm hyped to talk basketball once again. Like I said before, when we go on a break, everything fucking happens in the world. Um, I'm trying to think. When was the last time we took a break? And like something happened,
Uh, Angel Reese trade. That's like that's the first thing that comes to mind. We
bro.
took like a couple week long break, and I remember Angel Reese got traded. So
Yeah, I
other
was like,
stuff happened. Don't get me wrong. Other stuff happened, but I just remember AR went to Atlanta.
yeah. AR talking about Reeves.
Who
Thought you talking about Austin
does
Reeves.
he? Does he have his own Barbie? Then he could stay out of the AR talks.
Maybe in China he does. I don't know.
He is popular in China. That's fair.
He definitely got
You
his
know who
own
else is
AR.
in?
I'll tell you that
You know
much.
who else was in? You know who else was in China? Calvin Johnson. Same caliber of player, basically. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Speaking of China, has it been since we recorded that Curry signed with Li Ning? Am I tripping? Was that while we were on air still, or was that like during our break? I think that was like the
I
week
don't.
before I
That
left for
might
the
have been
trip.
break. That might have been break. I don't remember.
Whatever it was. All right, let's get into these trades. Let's start off the top. We're gonna go from completion order, so it's not gonna be the first trade
Hold
that
on,
I
hold
think
on.
was announced was like
I just wanted to say I was looking through our doc of when we had the Angel Reese trade down, and Heike wasn't that big. Like we talked, it was the week Luca and Austin Reeves got hurt.
oh
Uh, there's the Giannis and Bucks like injury
falling out.
debacle.
Yeah.
The Bulls fired everybody. It says Malone there. I hope we're talking about Mike Malone going to UNC and not the pedophile. I'm 90% sure it's Mike Malone going to UNC, but I saw
Oh my
Malone and
god,
I got scared.
I didn't even think about that guy. I was thinking about another one.
I,
Dude,
oh,
I know. I thought we were talking about
there's
another
something wrong with
Malone.
you if you're thinking of that guy when you're thinking of basketball. I can't
Oh
lie.
my god, why are we talking about a Malone? Michael Malone?
With Mike Malone, he went to UNC.
Oh, I was like, wait, he got fired 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Okay. Anyways,
WNBA
wow,
free agency, Final Four. Like
the
we,
name alone cannot be used anymore, bro. Oh my god,
it's cursed speech, bro. We can't be saying it. It has
did you see
it
my
hurts.
camera rattle? Bro, my
Yeah,
dad just like slammed the front door and just shook the entire house. All right,
bro. I thought you was getting an earthquake, bro.
no, it
Can't
could
lie.
happen any moment. Shit. Um. All right, let's get into these trades. Start at the top. First completed trade of the season. Wasn't the first announced trade, not that I remember at least. Um, Ja to the Blazers. Like this, like it feels like it hasn't been talked about enough, or it feels like it doesn't feel like a real thing to say because it's almost like a random spot for Ja to go. That was my first reaction about it because I was like, Blazers, like who cares about Portland? Like I don't really know.
I mean, they're clearly their owner doesn't either, but
Yeah, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, whatever. I guess what they gave up for it is like really nothing, and they got like a potentially. We'll see what happens with Ja. He's been a shell of himself since he's been all NBA caliber Ja Morant we've seen in the past. But I don't know. I feel like I still hold out hope for him. He's one of my like on the court, one of the most fun players to watch in the league. But I don't know how to feel about this. How do you feel about it?
I think it's a nice swing for Portland. I like when these middling teams who are kind of just stuck in the play-in. I enjoy a lot of the times when they take swings on these. Let's just say project players with these players who have injury issues or players that are like going through a slump. So I think it's worth the risk. They really didn't give up anything. There's I guess, some defensive upside in Chris Murray, but I don't really think he's a great player. And then Jeremy Grant's a pretty bad contract at this point, so they kind of got Ja for nothing. So I'm not going to hate it. I think it's really interesting their roster construction here because they're going with another sort of four guard, not lineup, but they're going with a four guard tandem where they're going to have Dame, Ja, Scoot, and Drew Holiday. And I think it's kind of interesting how this is might be the new meta in the NBA is a just a strong like core four backcourt or just a big group of guards. I'm not saying the Spurs pioneered it or invented it, but we saw what the Spurs guards were able to do against OKC in the conference finals. With their slashing ability with Castle, Harper, Fox. So I think it's really interesting the direction of roster building they're taking here, and I like the risk. Uh, I don't know how Ja will work out, but I have the slightest of faith that there's still a good player in there. There's a lot of red flags, a lot of worries with him. Honestly, for me, I think Ja like I don't know. People after the trade kept talking about Ja's character, and I think people need to understand there's a lot worse people in the NBA than Ja Morant. Like if we're being so serious.
Like his
So
teammate?
I yeah. Sorry, yeah, you had me confused. I was like, who? I thought Memphis for a second. I was like, wait, who's in Memphis? But yeah, like his teammate. There's a lot worse people in the league. So I really think Ja. I think he's a good guy. I think he loves his community wherever he's at. So I'm excited to see what he brings to Portland. I hope it works out. Like I don't want Portland to be contenders now. Like I don't want them to mess with us in the West, and I don't think they will. But I hope he gets it on track.
Yeah, you talked about that four guard. I don't know rotation because they're not all going to be on the court at the same time. I guarantee, or they might be, but
Yeah, no,
at
no,
least
no,
at
no,
least
no. Not a
rotation. But
chance. Not a chance.
at least a rotation like four guard rotation. Like you have four guards that are incredibly like good at the four out of the five like core things in the NBA, like in basketball. Like Dame, obviously we don't know how he's gonna be, but he won a 3-point contest on a damn near torn Achilles. So shooting in Dame, defense in Drew Holiday, slashing and finishing in Ja Morant, and then Scoot. I don't really know what Scoot does, but it's
I don't
kind of
really
like
know what Scoot does.
that's
That's a good
athleticism right
question.
there.
That's a good question.
It's more or less athleticism that
That's a
you
good
can
question.
develop, I guess. Maybe he can learn some athleticism skills off of Ja.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
he shot the lights out for 2 games in the Spurs playoff series.
I did,
So
but
maybe that translates. Didn't
that's
translate to the
four
other 3
guards.
games in the series.
That's four guards that do a lot of things that are different from each other. It's not like you have four guards that do the exact same thing and you're just rotating the same thing for teams that are it's easy to scheme against. That's not what you're doing. Now you have like four guards that are actually capable of doing different things each. I think the biggest thing is like I feel like Drew Holiday has to start on this team. Dame I feel like has to start on this team. Unless he gets like a Klay Thompson type of thing where he like just falls off a cliff now and he's old and all that kind of stuff and they bench him. But I think Dame has to start on this team. So like I guess you're gonna be playing three of those guards at the same time, at least in the starting lineup, most nights. Ja, Dame, Drew, which I
I
feel
feel
like
like you could bring Ja off the bench. I think they
I don't
actually
know.
might have brought Drew off the bench at times last
They
year.
did. They absolutely did. But I feel like now that you gave up defense, I feel like you kind of have you want more defense on the court. So I think Drew would be a starter.
Drew also right now, like not knowing Dame's current state, is clearly the best guard on that team,
Yeah.
and he was outstanding in the Spurs. Not outstanding in the washed way, but he was outstanding play level wise in the Spurs series. I mean, he put the fear of God in a lot of Spurs fans. Let's just say that.
I think for me a big thing is like if they have John now, I thought that they were gonna flip one of those other. Definitely not Dame. They can't trade Dame. I feel like that's more like a legacy piece for them at this point. But
Yeah,
trade one of
no.
Scoot or Drew for something. I don't know, like a draft pick or something. You probably could have gone something. So now I'm
The
really
thing
interested
with
to see what they
Drew
actually
is
do with these four
he's
guards.
on such a big contract that it's going to be a bit weird to get rid of him. Like I think Drew can commit or can contribute to a championship level team, a championship caliber team, but it's the contract. Who's like
It is,
how do you
yeah.
get him from team A to team B? It's so difficult, and I just don't know if that's possible at this juncture. Like I think Drew would have trade value, but it's weird with the contract. It's
With the
so
contract.
weird.
Yeah, it depends.
At this point, I think I'd rather just eat the contract and trade Scoot because I don't have faith in Scoot. I'm gonna be honest. Like I think he's decent, but outside of the 2 games in the Spurs series, he was just bad. All he kind of does is shoot and score, and he was streaky in that series. So
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask you
sucks
this
to
now.
suck.
If you do have anything else to add, I'm gonna end up this question with every team that we go through with the trade. I was gonna ask, what's your, I guess, not floor and ceiling, but what would be considered disappointing for this Portland squad now?
I'd say missing the play-in just because that's where they were last year. If they get worse, I don't know. It's a weird question because do you go in with the expectation of contending or trying to make the playoffs, which I don't I don't know.
I find it.
You
I
see
find it weird.
with the new lottery, I think they'll kind of be fine. You just don't want to be too good. You don't want to be in a top 6 seed, which I don't think they have to worry about. So I think they're kind of chilling. Like I think
It's like where they are.
the floor for them is like 11 seed. Where's the ceiling? It's probably a bit lower, but where's the ceiling is
Ceiling's probably 6, 5.
7. I was going to say 7 or 8 at best.
I'll say at
So
very, very best, if everything in the history of the world goes perfectly right for them, like I feel like 5. Like that's like
it's such a weird position because they don't have a lot of young talent. They didn't have a draft pick this year. The last time they had a draft pick, they took Hanson Young, which he hasn't shown the fruits of the pick just yet. But hopefully he bounces back this year.
yeah. I hope.
I'm really rooting for him.
Yeah, I
But it's
think the
not looking
ceiling.
good right now.
I think the ceiling of this team, obviously, I said like the perfect world is a 5 seed, but realistically, like that average point is probably like a 7 or 8. I think the floor could be as low as a 12 or 13 seed in the West.
They did get Tiago Splitter out the door, so maybe there's a chance to do better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's move on to another trade. This one, talk of the
What are we on to
town
next?
in recent days. At least this team, because of one particular person. But we're not going to talk about LeBron. The Sixers traded for Jaylen Brown, gave up Paul George, almost a one-to-one deal, kind of. There's a couple other things in there.
Well, yeah, there's two other first round picks.
Oh, there were two first-round picks. I can't see that what it says.
Two first and 2 seconds.
Two first. One of them was pick swaps.
It doesn't say on the website.
I don't know, whatever it was. But Jalen for Paul George, basically all you got to think about. Actually, not really. You got to factor in those two first-round picks.
Yeah, factor in the cap. You got to factor in the
Yeah.
picks.
Let's talk about Philly side first, because I think we have a similar opinion on this trade. Philly side first. Your first reaction. Actually, I have a story, but I'll let you get your first reaction first off what you think on Philly side, at least.
It's an awkward fit. Like I'm gonna just say that it's from the get go. It's an awkward fit in Philly. Uh, I don't know. I've been thinking about this team a lot recently, but I already thought about them a lot whenever this trade happened. So it just gotta, man, it's a very weird fit because Jaylen Brown is a heavy ISO type of player, and right now that's where Joel Embiid has been the most effective. That's been where LeBron has been the most effective, and so now what do you do? What there's one ball. How do you get VJ reps to develop? How do you get Maxi involved when Maxi's greatest strength as a player is the amount of threes he shoots? It's such a weird fit, and I don't love Jaylen Brown. Like I think sometimes the hate around him can get crazy, but I think the Celtics were absolutely right to trade him, and I think this is a good return for them. I think that Paul George is going to fit really well in Boston. I think he fits a lot of things that Boston likes to do, especially when it comes to bombing threes. And they got 4 picks out of it, so that's pretty good. Like I know people were expecting like a ginormous package in return for Jaylen Brown, but I feel like this is more realistic. I feel like this is how the league views him, especially according to all the reports we saw. Uh, Jaylen Brown's such an interesting player. Like I love to talk about Jaylen Brown because he is a good player, but it's just weird how he contributes to winning. Like I do think Jaylen Brown is a good player. I just don't think he's a player that contributes as much to winning as people would like to say. And that is sounds crazy to say because he has a Finals MVP, but anybody could win Finals MVP with that Celtics squad if we're being honest. And Jaylen Brown did step up in the finals. It is what it is. Uh, it's really weird, just a whole weird saga. I mean, what were your thoughts on the way it went down with like Jaylen Brown arguing with fans on Twitter? Uh, just the breaking down of the relationship, the failed Giannis trade, Bill Simmons' story of when he heard about the trade. Like, what are your thoughts there
Yeah,
about the whole
I have,
saga?
I have a story, but I'll give my thoughts on the story. Like the saga is like, it's just weird to me. Like the way I viewed it, it felt almost like Jaylen Brown. The relationship between Jaylen Brown and Celtics ended almost because of Twitter narratives and stuff like that. That's what it feels like. Like it honestly kind of is maybe, but it just felt like he got so much stuff from outside of the organization that if you're an NBA player, you're not supposed to be like really like tuning into in that matter. Like you should know a little bit about it, but like you're not constantly looking at your phone or Twitter, like seeing what's being said about you. The relationship between him and
Uh,
Celtics should stay between the organization at least.
I was gonna
I think
say, like, we could say that, but it's not really realistic when we know how many players like search their own name on Twitter.
no, absolutely. But I'm talking like your what people say about your relationship
Oh
with
yeah,
like it should not affect how you think about the relationship. You should know the best about how the relationship goes. And I feel like the relationship got tarnished because people were saying that the relationship is bad, And Jaylen Brown was like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe that is true." But you should know as a player in the organization how the relationship is with you and Brad Stevens or whoever it is. Like you should know how it is. It should nobody nothing else should affect, outside of what is said between each other. Nothing else should probably affect as much as it did. That was my thought on it. But I do have a story. I was in Boston when he got traded. The day he got traded, I was in Boston. I was on a, like, I don't even know what they call it, a scooter boat. It's like one of those boats where like they
Yeah,
bring the
yeah.
sail up and stuff. Bro, I was literally
You go do like the mock tea throwing.
I did not. I wanted to, so I took a tea pack and put it in the harbor, but don't tell anybody
Okay.
that. But that's like a different spot. But this is like an actual boat. Like we're actually on the water.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm dead ass lifting up. I'm hoisting a sail up, like I'm in Pirates of the Caribbean or some shit. Like I'm literally like pulling a sail up, and my dad goes, or actually it wasn't even my dad. Who was it? It was my sister's girlfriend who went, "Oh my god, Jalen Brown just got traded." And I dead ass almost dropped the rope, and the whole sail, if I dropped the rope, would have came crashing down on. Bro, I was like, "Oh my god!" I had like lock in, so I like finished the sail, and I looked into it, and I was like, "Oh my god, he got traded to the Celtics, bro." Now I literally have a picture. I'm gonna pull it up from it's on my Instagram post right now. But I literally have this picture on my phone from like maybe like a minute and a half after he got traded. This is me on the harbor in Boston.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Like he literally got traded. I was like, "Oh,
Did
this
you
is
hear
the
like the
funniest
cries
moment."
of all Boston fans? Because I certainly saw some reactions, and I was like, I get it from a sentimentality aspect. Did I say that right? Sentimental.
Yeah,
I guess it's sentimental more. Uh, Aspect. Like you're very attached to Jalen Brown, JB, and JT. It feels weird that the Jays aren't playing together anymore. Like I will say that
yeah,
for
that's true.
certain. But I think from a basketball perspective, I really understand this, especially when you take into account the Celtics drafting track record, the Celtics team building track record. Like I put a lot of faith in Brad Stevens. I'm gonna be honest. And if you listen to his press conference, he made it very clear that in this modern NBA, it is very hard to build when you have two players taking up 75% of the cap space as Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum were doing. And it's clear they made a path, they made a choice, and they stuck with it. They chose Jason Tatum over Jalen Brown, and I think that's fine. Jason
Yeah,
Tatum is the better player. He is the franchise in Boston right now, and that's okay. It's okay. Now trading Jalen Brown frees you up a lot of cap space. You got picks in return. You got Paul George, who fits the short-term goal of the team, short-term trajectory, while providing with like some needs for the team. He fits the team's play style, and you get off of Jalen Brown's isocentric ball. You get, I know it sounds ridiculous, but you get to start Peyton Pritchard if you want. You get to bring more of these guys into the lineup who are less ISO heavy, more like team basketball branded, which is kind of like how the Celtics have played without Brown or with Brown off the court. So I'm really intrigued to see the Celtics lineup next year. I think this gives them a lot of moves this offseason were done in the name of flexibility. And I think that's like this was the flexibility move because now the Celtics have their options added them. They have cap relief, cap room. Paul George's contract is pretty bad, though. I will say that it's pretty bad still with his production. But
yeah,
I trust the Celtics to make moves on the margins. I really like their draft. I love the pickup of Mitchell Robinson. They've done more stuff in free agency. Obviously, we'll talk about that in our free agency episode. But I still think they're a force to be reckoned with in the East. And I'd say they came out as the winners of this Jalen Brown trade pretty decisively, in my opinion. Uh, I like Jalen Brown enough, but I just don't like the fit in Philly. Really, I don't like the fit in Philly. I don't love him as a winning player. I don't know. He's a very interesting player. That's why I like discourse around Jalen Brown because it is a
you
good
can hear.
discourse to have.
There's so many different sides of the same argument that are all
Yeah,
valid. Feels like.
there's a lot of bad takes out there about it, but it's I want to hear opinions. That's at
I
the end of the
think
day, I want to hear opinions, and I love to hear discourse like that.
Yeah, I think for both sides of like both teams. I think for Philly, my biggest thing, or for Boston, sorry, my biggest thing was you played this whole season, this past season, with Jalen Brown as your 1A, I guess, 1A option. He was your team leader, right? And then I feel like where their season was amazing. They were top 2, top 3 seed in the East. And I think where it went wrong was bringing back Jason Tatum, and then ultimately they blew a 3-1 lead in the conference in the playoffs. Like, let's not look past that. Like, they blew a 3-1 lead, and I don't think there's a blame you can put on anybody. I don't think you can blame it on, this is Jaylen Brown's fault. This is Jason Tatum's fault. This is, Brad Stevens. This is Joe Mazzulla's fault. No, I don't think there's a lot of blame on that. I think it's just what happened was that you brought two people back together that are both vying to be the one option, and it just blew up in your face. Literally blew up in your face. You guys are up 3-1 and it blew up. I think for me is you had that season with Jaylen Brown. He led you to 50 plus wins in that season where nobody thought you were going to get more than 20. Now, basically, you're doing that same thing this season, but instead of Jaylen Brown as your leading player, you have a top 5 player in basketball and Jason Tatum having that same role. Who is saying that you're going to have a worse season than that? That's what I'm thinking. Because you're like, oh my God, Boston's cooked now. They're going to be below 500. Like Jason, like they lost their second best player. Jaylen Brown's an all-star, like all NBA candidate. Jason Tatum can do everything that Jaylen Brown did and a lot more, a lot better. So who's to say that he's not going to do better in that role this upcoming season with the Celtics than Jaylen Brown did last season? And you bring in Paul George, who takes the ball off just a little bit, not as much as Jaylen Brown does. And I think Paul George understands his role as a, clear 2/3 option in that team right now. He's going to take that ball away from Jason Tatum, not as much as Jaylen Brown did, to give him just a little off pressure. And this team is going to be, I think, successful. Now, on Philly's side, it's Jaylen Brown was mad at the fact that he wasn't the clear 1A option in that team in Boston, but you brought him into a spot where he's probably not even still the 1A. That was before the LeBron deal and all this kind of stuff. He's not. I think I'd still take Tyrese Maxey over Jaylen Brown. I think a healthy Joel Embiid I'm taking over Jaylen Brown. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Jaylen Brown's play style,
development, and now you have so many other things around this team that just doesn't feel like it fits.
I agree with that. And just maybe we get Jaylen Brown number 1 option to hoops. It's interesting. Maybe they'll take turns. I guess.
We've seen that type of stuff go down and it didn't work.
I know. That's why I'm just not that high on the Sixers squad. Joel Embiid, LeBron, Jaylen Brown, like we were saying, they're all ISO heavy players at this point in their career.
Tyrese Maxey's trending towards that, honestly.
Yes and no, but I think it sucks. All these players coming in who are ISO heavy because Tyrese Maxey is such a great shooter. He shoots so many threes that this kind of hinders him. He's going to see the ball a bit less. I don't know. I just don't really like this Philly squad, and it sucks because if the Spurs aren't going to win the title, like I'd be really happy to see Embiid get a ring. I'd be happy to see LeBaron Philon get a ring. Shout out Baron. I don't know. It's just weird. It's such a weird fit. Like I guess LeBron. I don't want to get into talking about LeBron, but I guess they have a better chance of winning, maybe than if he were to go to the Heat. Definitely better than Cleveland. But I don't know. I don't really like the Jaylen Brown deal that much.
I think you have literally outside of your 5 superstars, 4, I guess, plus VJ Edgecombe.
I was gonna say, you say superstars, but
yeah, like your 4 superstars. Who, again, there's only one ball that you talked about in Portland or whoever you're talking about. I don't even know who we're talking about. I think we're still talking about Philly. There's only one ball, and like again, you talk about it too. There's no defense, and there's no bench anymore. You trade away Jeremy McCain for LeBaron Philon, but no McCain, no Quentin Grimes. He left. I don't even know who else could be on that bench. Is Andre Drummond? Did he sign somewhere?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he signed yet. I've been seeing him a lot on TikTok Live. It's kind of funny. But like, it's almost like it feels like a 2K build where you have no fatigue on, and you're rotating the same 6 players through the entire season. That's what it feels like. So I don't know. I can't like look. I can't give this team any hopes and praises and say that they're going to win a championship and they're championship contenders until I see all of them play and see like that it's actually working as good. Until then, I can't say anything about it. I'm not going to say they're bad. I'm not going to say they're good. I'm just going to be like, they're the Sixers and we got to see what they're going to have to do. That's literally it.
And again, uh, it's such a I don't like the fit for Braun. I don't like the fit for Jaylen Brown. I get why Philly did it. They're trying to capitalize on Joel Embiid's, career, and I really hope they do capitalize on Joel Embiid's career. That man deserves a championship more than anybody in the sport, I'd say. And it's unfortunate because I don't really like this team. I don't really like this roster. This
I think
feels to me the best comparison I've seen is like, was it 2021 PSG
with
with
Mbappe, Neymar, and
Mbappe,
Messi,
Neymar, and Messi? But it's like Nerf. It's like a Nerf version of that.
yeah,
I guess Embiid's Neymar basically. Obviously, LeBron's Messi and Mbappe's LePair and Phylon, but no, okay, Mbappe's Tyrese Maxey, but it's like a watered down version of that. Or even then, it's like a watered down version of the 2021 Nets.
yeah. That's what I was thinking more of the
It's
2021 Nets.
I love all the jokes. Of do you remember the clutch points graphic after y'all traded for Russ, where it was like, can we
Yeah,
just skip to the
in the
finals?
finals.
And it was Lakers and Nets. And I saw somebody say that and then edit it with like Sixers and Thunder, and I was like, bro, the Thunder would slaughter them.
Yeah,
It's not fair. The Thunder would literally slaughter them. It would be you'd have to end that in 3 games.
yeah,
But I don't believe that much in this team. I get why they're taking swings. I want them to capitalize on Joel Embiid. So I applaud them for that, but it to me it just doesn't work. I don't like it. I think Boston won the Jaylen Brown trade pretty decisively too.
yeah,
I think they will be the better team than the Sixers next
yeah.
year.
All right, we got two more big trades to go through, and then let's see how fast we can get through the other ones.
We can get through some rapid fire ones.
Yeah. Next one up, Giannis to Miami. It feels like it's been already a long time that he's been there, just because of how it went down with Milwaukee. He feels so detached from the Bucks at this point.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd say detached from the Bucks, but I wouldn't say it felt like he's been in Miami, because for a real second there, I was scared he was going to go to Boston, because
Yeah, that is true.
that would have been scary. That
Yeah,
would have been, you know what? That would have been. They really could have competed. Really could have competed if they got Giannis, but they didn't. That's water under the bridge. He's a Miami Heat, and
yeah.
we're
Give
going
me
to
your
see
thoughts.
Mr. Wilson. I'm kidding. We're gonna see Bam and Giannis play together, like kind of Pat Riley's dream. I mean, he's been salivating over this big money, big target signing. It feels like for years, and finally Giannis has come. So I think this is kind of Pat Riley's dream come true. If we're
Absolutely.
being honest, I don't love this deal, or I don't know how to explain it. I don't love the Heat next year, but I do think it's good value. It's good enough value for both sides that I understand it, especially when you take into account what the Celtics' final offer was, which was like Jaylen Brown and two firsts. I think I might rather take this Heat package, if I'm being
I
honest.
think I would too.
Uh, they paid a ransom, but one thing I've learned about the Heat is even throughout all this mediocrity, all this the play in perennials years, they can find players on the margins. So I trust them. I really do. They'll find guys out there like Nikola Jovic. He wasn't in the trade, right? I don't think Nikola Jovic is in the
No,
trade.
he was not. No.
I just had to double check. I didn't think he was. They'll find like a Pele Larson. They'll get these moves on the margins that you need to build a championship team, but they just never have had quite the tandem, quite the combination of star players, star role players to get it over the line. But they do have good margin work. So I think this Heat team maybe could become something. I'm worried about their backcourt. Obviously, shout out Davion Mitchell. Uh, we're going to be incorporating some of his training techniques into our intramural squads this year. But I I don't love this backcourt. They lost Norman Powell. I think they did re-sign Andrew Wiggins. I want to say
Yeah,
he's just
mid.
not great, below average. Uh, so it is a very like mediocre team outside of Bam and Giannis, but I think Bam and Giannis does give you a high floor. But I'm just curious about what the ceiling can be. What is the margins? What are the margins going to look like? Who else are they going to bring in? What's the team going to look like outside of Bam and Giannis? So that obviously I think that's the question on everybody's mind is just how does that fall? How do the chips fall there? But I do trust the Heat organization to make some savvy moves on the margins. And for the Bucks, I like this return, like I said, a lot better than the Celtics final offer. Tyler Hero isn't great. Man, we haven't even done pod since him and Bam got into it. Shout out that. Uh, you could be Tyler Hero is an interesting player because I do think he has value to the right team. Like he can shoot it, like he can really shoot it, but he doesn't do much outside of that. So there is a role somewhere for Tyler Hero. So maybe you can flip him. Khalil Ware has a lot of potential, so he could become something. Jaime Jaquez Jr. was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year this year. I don't really like him as a player, but he's there too. Jakub Jonas, I liked a decent amount out of last year's draft class. He could be interesting. Obviously, the greatest basketball player of all time, Nate Emmett, was in this trade. I mean, God, sorry, that really sold the return for me. I know it sold the return for you. I know it sold the return for Reese Goodall. I mean, we just Emmett FC.
Fist pump in
We
the
will
air.
we will never die. Emmett FC. We we ride or die for Nate Emmett here.
Oh my god.
Just I want that to be known. There will be no Nate Emmett slander ever.
Never.
Here.
He's going
Ever.
in. We're just preview of season 3. We're gonna build a studio in my room. We're gonna put a jersey of Nate Amen. 3 of them actually. One of them's not gonna be his jersey, but just if you know ball. But yeah, that sold it for me. Fist pump in the air for Nate Amen.
Nate Emmett, bro. Come on.
Could have been Nate Bayment, but that's a different topic for a different day.
Oh
I could
no,
have
the Warriors drafted Yaxel Lindeborg. Oh no.
I know.
My steak is too juicy.
Baxel Lindenborg. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I think for me, this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna. Sorry, I don't know what I was gonna say, but they got a good pick return too. So honestly,
Yeah.
I like this. I like this return enough for the Bucks. It's to me, it's a lot better than what the Celtics were offering, and I like the return.
Yeah, I think for okay, let's talk about the Bucks first. I think the Bucks. I think the obviously the draft picks that you got. I think if you didn't draft well or not draft well, just get the return that you did from this Heat deal. I think I would have been like out on it completely. That Celtics deal compared to this is incredibly unenticing because you got a haul of players. Which say what you want about all of them, but they are players to put on your squad for next year that are decent. And then the 2 rookies that you have in Braden Burries and Nate Ament. Nate Ament's more of a project player, if anything, at this point, I think. But Burries is one of the best rookies in the class, in my opinion, one of the best guards. So I think you have a lot of space. Usually, when a team trades for a superstar or trades away their superstar and their franchise player and their face name, it's almost like they just go into a complete asylum for the next couple of years. But this Bucks team has a chance to compete only in a couple of years down the road. I think. I think they have a chance to build something bigger than what they
I'm
have now.
not that certain. Let's pump the brakes there. I mean, who is the centerpiece going forward here? Because I
I
don't
think
see
that's.
it right now.
I
Like
think.
they have a lot of good pieces. Like Ryan Rollins, I like Tyler Hero can fit a role on a good team. I guess I forgot Miles Turner's still there. He's something.
I think.
He's a good stretch big.
I think they
Uh,
have. I think they have. Like. I think Burries has all-star upside.
I see. I
That's
differ in
like
opinion
it's
there.
great.
I think Burries is a player in like almost akin to Josh Hart, where he does a lot of stuff well, but he's not
That's fair.
necessarily great at anything. I think that's kind of the consensus on him. But
That's true.
I think Braden Burries will be a really good NBA player, but I don't think he has like that star or like star upside that the Bucks should be swinging for at this point.
I
Uh,
think
I guess Nate Ament is this upside swing.
that's
Uh,
definitely an upside
we
swing.
love Nate Ament, but I'm not sure about his likely ceiling or the chances he hits his ceiling. I'm
It's
not sure about that.
his floor and
So
ceiling vary every day. Like I swear to God.
yeah, it is very weird the team they have right now. I think they could have been better about their picks. I'm curious, do they get rid of Tyler Hero? They need to cut Kyle Kuzma right now. I mean, I don't know if you saw that tweet, the Chat GPT prompt, bro, but
Yeah.
oh my God. I saw somebody say, usually you tell athletes to shut up and dribble whenever they get political. Somebody was like, we don't want to see you dribble either, Kyle Kuzma. So just
Yeah.
shut up. Like
I
it's
don't,
at that point in his career, man. But
hang it up,
hey,
hang it up.
he's like resume fodder for LeBron at this point because people we're gonna look back on it. We're gonna be like, damn, this is a guy LeBron James won a championship.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's become to me at this point in his career, man. Like,
Yeah,
wrap it up, Bucks.
him and Mo
Cut him.
Williams are on the same page in LeBron's resume. So
Exactly. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
no, but on the Heat side, I think to get Giannis, one of my first like takes on it was it just feels too late. It feels like you guys are like it feels honestly literally a year late. I feel like if you were to still have had Jimmy Butler and done this deal, I don't know, a couple years ago, like everybody else was talking about you should have done, you have Butler and Giannis and Mr. Wilson on that team. Like obviously
Mr.
the players
Wilson.
that are in this deal right now are obviously a lot. Some of them weren't even there when Jimmy Butler was on the team. You know, back when they made the finals. But I feel like this is a deal you could have definitely scratched off a couple years ago and had a much clearer path to a ring or contendership status rather than now where you're playing with no backcourt. I don't know where like Milwaukee just did this where they even try to put a backcourt around Giannis and it didn't work with Dame. Like I don't know where you go if you're Miami. Like I'm obviously we know this from me. Like I love my guard play. I love my guards. I'm always going to be rooting for the guards no matter where they are. But Miami doesn't have notable guards that can just push pace. Like Giannis is going to get gassed by the end of the season because he's going to be doing everything on that team. Like I just don't know where it works. And obviously Giannis is a top five basketball player in the world with his skill
Yeah,
set and
no
what he
doubt, no
does
doubt.
no matter what. But at some point it's a team game. Like you don't win with just one player playing offense and defense for your team. Like one player does not play five positions on your team. You have to build more of a team around it. And like you said, obviously, I think I do also have faith in the around the margin moves that Miami's been doing. I think they'll continue to be doing that, especially around Giannis's contract and all that kind of stuff and what they have on the roster. But it just feels like it's too late. It almost feels like it sounds like awful to say it, but it's like the too little too late saying. It just doesn't feel like they're
Yeah,
gonna get anything out of it. They're in a realm where they're not even a top four seed in the East still. I think it's still New York, Boston, probably still Philly's probably still better than them. Detroit's still up there. Like these teams are have been better than you, and you made a swing for a superstar talent and one of the greatest of all time, but it doesn't move. It really does not move my needle. It that ass feels like it does nothing for me.
it
It
doesn't move
literally
your
does nothing.
needle.
It does not move my needle. It doesn't move it up, down, side to side, curve it. Nothing. Nothing
Nah,
with the
I was
needle.
gonna list out. You want to hear the guard room right now? Every guard on the roster:
Go ahead.
Davion Mitchell, Trevor Keels, Ryan Conwell. Could be decent. Could be decent. Sorry, I just wanted to note about Ryan Conwell. Pele Larson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Drew Smith, Jameer Young, and Trey Donaldson. Every guard on the roster.
See, like look at this after they made the finals. They could have had on that roster at least Jimmy Butler in that guard room. At least.
Yeah, that's again. I don't know how you hang on to Jimmy like that. I don't know. I don't know what the salary looks like because Jimmy is one of the highest paid players in the league.
He went not when he was on the Miami.
Yeah, he was. I swear you got. Wait, didn't he? Did he not get paid
He got
like
paid after he signed with the Warriors. He
after the
signed that.
finals? No, I
No,
thought
he
he got
signed
paid
that.
right after the
No,
finals.
dude,
Then he
he
got
signed
paid
that.
again by the Warriors.
No, he signed that 2-year like $140 million deal with the Warriors.
I thought it was. I thought it was a double payday. Like
But
I thought he got paid twice.
His Miami deal was nowhere near what he's getting paid right now.
Yeah, that's
Because
true. But again, that's a reason he wanted
in the league
he
though.
wanted that money. He wanted that money, and Pat Riley didn't want to give it to him.
Because he's
So
holding
if
out
they
for his
really,
talent. So it's like
it's give and take, as is everything in this league, as is
I don't know.
everything in life.
I just feel like
It's weird. I don't
it's
love this roster, but I like talent going to the East. I like talent staying in the East. As a fan of a Western Conference contender,
that
so
is fair.
keep
like
it
that.
up, please keep it up.
All right.
This is cool, man. Shout out Native Met. We're labeling this the Native Met trade from here on out.
Real shit. All right. Last big notable trade. LaMelo to the Wolves. LaMelo and Josh Green, sorry, to the Timberwolves from Charlotte. Brooklyn got Julius Randle in that trade. Naz Reid, Mohamed Gay went to the Hornets. The Bulls got Nick Claxton. 4-team deal. A lot of things going on there. A lot of moving things. A lot of moving parts. But obviously the highlight of that deal, LaMelo to Minnesota. And I'll start. I
forgot it got expanded. Team. Yeah.
LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards are immediately the best backcourt in the NBA. And it's not even close. It's night and day with them. Until Dylan Harper starts over De'Aaron Fox. Stop. I know you're smiling about that stuff.
No. I thought you were about to say I got 2 words. Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, must see TV.
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Sorry,
that too.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, I'm not that stupid. But LaMelo and Ant, immediately the best backcourt in the NBA, in my opinion. Ant, say what you want defensively, obviously not there, but is one of the best players in the league right now. Can score at will. LaMelo Ball can do the exact same thing, and you have you see the Ant-Man and the Wasp is the most perfect nickname for them.
I hate it, dude. Why are we calling LaMelo the Wasp though?
I love it so much. It's so tough.
I think it's lazy. You could do better for LaMelo. It's kind of crazy because he got his chain snatch nickname wise by Wemby because he was trying to go like with a 1-of-1 like alien type branding, and then Wemby came into the league. And
but like the Wasp kind of makes sense because like the Hornet Wasp.
I guess, but he's not a Hornet anymore. Like,
but
I get that aspect of it. And like,
maybe that's not
Wasp.
LaMelo's nickname. Maybe the Wasp isn't LaMelo's nickname, but that's the thing that we're gonna get to do right now. Ant-Man and the Wasp, whatever. But it almost kind of fits in the way that like the Wasp plays fast, LaMelo Ball, and the Ant-Man plays big for his size, and that's Ant. It's like that's the perfect combination for backcourt. Fast, slashing, shooting. I guess there's not a lot of defense, but I feel like when you're that caliber on offense, it's almost perfect.
Bro, you got Rudy. It's fine. You got Rudy.
You got Rudy. Exactly.
My issues with this trade, my whole thing with this trade is, oh my god, their front court is cooked right now. Their front court is eviscerated. It is Rudy Gobert. You have Yohan Berenger, who I really like what I've seen in like summer league runs and limited play. Like I see the vision with him, but outside of them, yikes.
Yeah,
big yikes. They kind of sacrificed all their front court depth to get this. It's like it's give and take. Again, sent Julius Randle to the Nets. Fine, he was terrible in the playoffs. He proved to be terrible in the playoffs. Naz Reid, giving up Naz Reid in the trade is rough. It's not as rough as if they gave up Rudy. Like I really would have hated this trade. I would have hated this trade if they gave up Rudy, but I think Naz is a fine loss, but he was also the Wolves' best player. Arguably, sorry, not best player, but he was arguably their best threat outside of Ant in the Spurs series. So losing him, losing his floor spacing kind of hurts. I think the Ayo Dosunmu contract is one of the worst contracts in basketball. Yeah. That is mind-blowing. Like I can't believe you gave him that deal for 5 years. Like I don't know. Giving Ayo Sumu money for 3 years, giving him a lot of money for 3 years is a lot more reasonable than 5 years. Like I don't get this. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, it's very unethical, but and you'd lose the chance to sign a lot more free agents in the future. But after they traded for Melo, they might as well have cut like just severed ties with the IO contract because man,
That was what I
that's
didn't
rough.
understand.
It's well,
That's
it's
what I
like
didn't
it's
understand
like
at all.
they handicapped themselves. They went out and they made a great trade, which I was like, yeah, I love this Lamelo trade. Well, they signed Io before, but I love the Lamelo trade. I really do. Like I don't get it from Charlotte's point of view, but for Minnesota going into this offseason, I thought they were kind of dead in the water. I'm gonna be honest. They're just a tier outside of the top. Like let's just say that. I have a term ah, screw it. It's our first time back. They've kind of been perennial cucks. Let's be honest.
Yo,
They they made they made the conference finals twice just to lose, and then they come
yeah,
up against the Spurs who went to the finals, and they lost. Like they're the stepping stone. They're the team like the doormat to the finals. Basically, that's how they've been used these last 3 years, and I just didn't see enough internal development coming for them to not make a big swing this offseason. And I was thinking that they weren't going to make a big swing. I was worried that this is the path that leads to Anthony Edwards requesting a trade out of Minnesota. Uh, like I was thinking, like maybe like this is the final straw. They keep running it back with this same core, and Ant becomes dissatisfied and he requests a trade. But they pulled this out of nowhere. Like nobody thought that LaMelo Ball would be on the table. I think that every team, almost every team in the league, should be calling or should have been calling for LaMelo Ball. If I were the Spurs, I would have been calling LaMelo Ball. I'm just say that. But man, I really like this deal for Minnesota. I have my worries. I still think they're a tier outside of OKC and San Antonio, but this is a swing, and I like that because
yeah.
again, like I said, they were dead in the water. This gives them life. This gives them hope. Like I can see Lamelo working out well in Minnesota. Now, obviously, he has the injury bug. This last year was like the second most games he's ever played in his career,
Yeah.
which is kind of scary because he didn't even play that many games. I don't think he hit
Like
65.
45.
Yeah, the injury issues are scary. They're very real, but the talent is undeniable. And I think the fit is unreal next to Ant. I'm really like I'm excited to watch this Wolves team.
I think
I wish they would have done something big wise, signed a Ford, but signed a win, but I like this team.
okay, yeah, I got two things before we move on to some of the other ones. Other trades. Charlotte's side is just I saw something on Twitter saying they're taking the OKC route when they trade everybody, but it's like they're getting like the worst haul of all time for them. So it's like it's just awful. Like I don't understand it from Charlotte's point of view. It doesn't make sense. You guys had such an upward trend going for you after last season. No matter how you guys went out, you guys had such a good trend going for you guys, and it just like you just poofed it. But now there's no hope. At least like OKC when they traded everybody like Russ and Paul George in 2019, they got a haul of draft picks to look forward to, and then look at where they turned out now. Charlotte
And
has
the reigning back to back league MVP
yeah,
just
exactly. Like
tossed
you
it in.
had such a big haul of draft picks to look forward to see how it would turn out. You couldn't judge it based off of that face value stuff at that point. But what Charlotte got in return, that's all you can do. Judge it at face value for what it is right now, because you have nothing to look forward to really. So the couple first round picks, it's not as nearly as what we thought you could have gotten for that. And then Minnesota side, my biggest takeaway is not even basketball like on the court like playing wise. It's you rebranded, and what you're gonna see on the court is LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards in some of the cleanest jerseys in the NBA with a new brand, and I think that's huge. I think it signifies a new era of Minnesota Timberwolves basketball, and I'm like, outside the Lakers, this is a team that I always root for. I love Minnesota. I love Ant, and I love it even more. I love it even more.
I'm so jealous of Minnesota hoops. I can't lie, bro. They like who has it going on better than Minnesota hoops right now? Like I know this sounds crazy to say when Victor Wembanyama plays for my favorite basketball team, but bro, Melo and Fee and Olivia Miles, bro. Like, is there a better big four in basketball right now? Because I can't off the top of my head think of one. Because wow, I don't know.
Curry,
At least
X, Gabe, and Veronica Burton.
last three names, just like this is not Gabby or VB slander either. Just saying, bro. It's Fee and Olivia Miles, bro. Come on,
Devin
bro.
Booker, Miles Bridges, Alyssa Thomas, and Kalia
Shut
Copper.
up, shut up, shut up. You're done, bro. You're done. Like, I can't even think of who the Mavs have at this point. They've turned over their roster so much. Like
Nemhard and Risa Shea. Oh no, Risa Shea, just not even Nemhard anymore.
yes, yeah. Dallas has Paige Beckers, Lee Aru, Zachary Risa Shea.
They have Cooper Flag. I don't know why that blanked on me.
No, I don't know. I didn't want to say Cooper Flag. I just wanted to say Paige and Scrubs for lack of a better term.
Who would be the best big four in basketball in terms of NBA and WNBA combined?
I think Minnesota has a good shout.
I think
they really do, and it's heavily carried by the fact that Fee and Liv are both top 5 players in the W. I will say that. The NBA side needs to pick it up, man. You know, and got to take that defense and playmaking leap. And LaMelo, stay healthy, man. Stay healthy and play defense.
What about
Which even then you get steals.
Sabrina.
What was that last name again?
Sabrina.
Enough said. I love her shoes though. I love Sab's shoes though. She has best in the game. Always will rock Sabs. But
what about
I don't
Luka?
think I could put her in that top 4. Bro, you could have said JJ.
Oh shit! All-Star MVP JJ.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have said JJ.
Luka. What about Luka, Reeves, and Cam Brink?
Not even a fourth. Like no KP love, no NECA love, no Madam Vice President love. No,
just Brink.
Bottom of the barrel, bro. Bottom of the barrel. Now, what about Wimby, Dylan Harper, Asia, and Jackie Young?
Yeah, stop claiming that, bro. Stop claiming it, bro. Stop claiming it.
They were San Antonio's team.
Stop claiming it.
They were San Antonio's team.
Stop claiming it. Hey, when we get the Vegas, what did we say we're gonna name them? We couldn't even say what we named them, right?
Yo, who's the cornball in our like YouTube comment like reply section who said that they should be the Vegas Mambas or something? Something like that. I was like, yo, that's garbage, bro. I'm sorry. Get out of here with that. Get all the way out of here.
Bro, I think I replied to it and I clowned him and he deleted the comment, bro.
But that's so mean, bro. But like, God, that's such an awful name, bro. Like, not only is Kobe a terrible person, but that's just a terrible name.
The Mambas, bro.
They should be the Vegas Mambas.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I just
right.
I don't like that. That's so mean. But I just like that. Oh, that's such a bad name. And Kobe's a terrible person. Like, no.
All
right. Sorry. Can I get a little piece? We got sidetracked, but can I get a little piece about Charlotte in here?
Yeah, go ahead. Hurry up.
Okay. I like the draft enough. I thought coming out of the draft, I was like, man, this could be a really cool young core. And then I got the Shams tweet saying that. What a night that was! I got the Shams tweet right after that saying that LaMelo was possibly being moved, and I was like, what?
Oh yeah.
That trade. This trade is going to change the trajectory of the Hornets franchise one way or the other. I will say that. It's a big gamble. This is a gamble. And as the greatest GM in NBA history has ever said, Nico Harrison, fortune favors the bold. Or is it history favors the bold? It's one of the two.
Fortune favors the brave or some shit. He didn't even say bold. I think it was brave or something.
And it worked out well for the Mavs, man. They got Cooper Flag. You know what? And now their front office is bringing in guys like Risa Shea. So clearly Nico was on to something. Clearly. Let's be honest. I'm kidding. But, this is a very, very, very bold trade of Charlotte to make. They're trying to get ahead of the curve on this injury bug. And to be honest, shout out to numbers on the board because I forget who it was, but it might have been Pierre who was trying to rationalize the trade. And I like the argument that he used, or whoever used on numbers on the board, where they said that this, like, if you could go back in the past, you would try to do this with Zion. You would try to do this with Ja. You would try to get off of their contracts, get off of their trade, like get value in return for them before their value hits rock bottom. Like with Trey, like some similar situations to that. So I get that. If you really think LaMelo's history is that bad, or his injury history is that bad, then honestly, I respect it. I just think the return could have been better. I'm not really loving this return. Like Nas is decent. Like that's a good piece. He's not necessarily a young core piece, but he's good enough. I don't like the pick swaps because Minnesota should be good then.
Yeah.
Uh, and then they got that 2033 first, which could be intriguing. But outside of that, I don't really love the return. Like I get the process. Like I understand why. Obviously, it's always going to be a huge swing. For the most part, I'm always going to like this for Minnesota, but you should have asked for more. That's just my thing. You should have
Yeah.
held out, tried to get more, but maybe who knows? Maybe that's just what the league thinks of
Melo
Charlotte,
Ball.
or it's not Charlotte, Lamelo Ball. So
Yeah.
yeah, moving on.
Um.
Is that the last of the big trades?
Yeah.
Or
I
are we
mean,
going to
we
talk
we
about
got
the
we got
asterisk?
time for we got time for one more big. We got one more time. One time for one more trade. The rest of the trades are pretty small. We can do like a mini episode about that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Let's talk about the asterisk.
yeah, the Astra sign and trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last
Wait,
trade of the day.
wait.
We'll talk
What
about
were you,
these
wait,
more.
what were you thinking? Wait, what were you thinking? I, I
I'm thinking.
I was saying the asterisk, like the trade we don't know if it will go through or not.
Oh, that one. I didn't even see. I forgot about that because it's
It's
not
not
on
it's
my.
not on it because it hasn't gone
Yeah.
through yet.
Um. Yeah, we can run that one.
Or do you
Yeah,
want or do you want to wait for it to go through officially?
I was gonna say wait. I was gonna talk about the Kessler trade and then wait for that one to go official. But we could do that one. It's like,
I'm cool with either.
all right, let's do the Kessler trade.
Honestly, let's go Kessler. Let's go
Let's wait
Kessler. We'll
till
wait.
the Clippers stop getting investigated. Hopefully, it doesn't stop anytime soon. Um. Okay, let's do Kessler. All right, Lakers got Kessler for 2 first round picks. Basically, I was also in Boston when I got the deal when it was that trade, elite day. I don't know. I'm gonna leave my thoughts for next for second. You go first.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too sure about this. Like I'm really not too sure. Y'all gave him a lot of money and y'all gave up a lot of assets to get Walker Kessler of all players. Now, I'm not saying Walker Kessler will be bad. I think he will get a huge boost from that Lucas Demi, like any player, any big in the league does. I guess except for DeAndre Ayton, but there were other factors that played there. Let's just say that. Uh, I just don't think that Walker Kessler is that level of rim protector that you need to contend in the Western Conference, and y'all gave up a lot to get him. Money, cap flexibility, picks, you name it. Like y'all gave up everything to get Walker Kessler, and like I commend the Lakers for, I guess, trying to take a swing. You know, you want to build around Luka, but I'm not sure this is the greatest way to build around Luka. I honestly, he hasn't extended with the Mavs yet, but I would have much rather send this offer over to Dallas and see if we could have gotten, or y'all could have gotten like a
Lively or
Gafford and
Gafford.
Lively.
Yeah.
I was saying both. I know that's just reheating Nico Harrison, the greatest GM ever's nachos, but still, why not at that point? I it's it's an interesting deal. I like again. I think that this will be beneficial for the Lakers. I think Walker Kessler will add a lot to the Lakers, but I don't think it's enough to compete for a championship. And so therefore, like I can't really justify giving up as much as y'all did.
I think for me, I think there's a lot of things that I can say about it, good and bad. But the I'll talk about the basketball side of me for like just overall basketball analyst type of thing that I see is I think you could have done better with it. I think the money was a lot. I think you could have brought it down to maybe 110 million dollars a year with him. I feel like he was already traded there. He had no choice but to sign a new contract with y'all. Um, and then I'm okay with giving up the picks. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be as low as people think they're going to be in 2031 and 2033. But obviously, a lot can happen. Um, and then pick swaps we'll see. But I think for me as a Lakers fan who watched this team for my whole life, I think the biggest thing that is Lakers DNA is win with a big man. Like that's the biggest thing, and it's a true center. We won in 2020 with AD as our four, and we had a true center. Whatever you want to say, like you could say they're bad, whatever, but they were true centers. JaVale McGee and I can't think of anybody else who was on who
Dwight
was on
Howard.
this. Dwight Howard. Like those are true centers. Out of their prime, not good, whatever you want to say, but those are true centers that play next to AD and LeBron and the rest of that squad. Won a championship. Um, with Kobe, Pau Gasol, Shaq, centers. Like that's the DNA of Lakers championships in history. Um, and we were going nowhere with playing first off AD with, at the four, and all that kind of stuff. And it has been Lakers fans' dreams to get a center like Walker Kessler who can rebound and play defense the way he does, rim protection at least. And I think people are looking at this and saying Walker Kessler isn't the best center in the league. It's like it's just Walker Kessler. He doesn't do anything special, and they're like, honestly, it feels like they're comparing him more to Wemby than just taking it for what Walker Kessler is, which I don't appreciate. I think you can't really do that because Wemby's one of the best, probably one of the best, the best player in the league, in the world. But look at what he does, and look at who can complement that. And Luka is at the forefront of players that complement that kind of style of rim running, protection, rebounding, running a transition, running a break. Everything would run through a pick and roll, and that just is such a basic form of basketball that both of them have mastered and are some of the best at in the league. That people are just looking at it and being like, "Oh, it's not going to work." The pick and roll has worked for as long as I can remember in basketball, and this is probably one of the best examples of it in the game right now. And I think people again also are looking at it and saying, like, they're just not looking at the fact that Luka Doncic is on this team. Like it's Luka Doncic. You could say all the slander in the world about Luka, whatever you want to say. He's not good at defense. He's slow. He's sluggish. All this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, top five player in basketball, one of the smartest players we've seen in the game of basketball, and like if people just forget, they were just a 3 seed, and if I'm not saying we would have beat OKC, but if he was playing these playoffs, I think we get at least a game. Stuff like that. Like Luka Doncic is an unreal tipper of the balance, and I think him Kessler is just in my mind a match made in heaven. And then you overhaul the roster with a lot of other great additions that I like. Mamukelashvili is my favorite one. I We had a joke about it 2 years ago at this point where I was like, dude, Mamukelashvili, and he popped off, and then he popped off again last
There's,
year.
you know who we popped off
Unreal.
against too that we watched in your room. I think about this a lot, but the game that you're referencing was when Mamu became the fastest player or the first player to ever drop 30 points playing
Yeah,
under 20 minutes
yeah,
against that team in New York that shall
yeah,
not be named. And I like to think that if we kept Mamu for one more year, things would have ended differently.
yeah. All right, bro. You can keep dreaming, but I just think a lot of people just a lot of the hate that comes from it. I'm not saying it's not justified or it's not rational to say stuff like that, but I think a lot of the hate that comes around this trade and what the Lakers have been doing comes from the fact that it's just the Lakers. Plain and simple. That's what it comes from. It's just the Lakers. The Lakers are going to hate no matter what. They can win a championship and still get hate for what they did to get to the championship. Like it's just how it is with the Lakers. So I decide as a fan not to listen to a lot of the comments and the hate and the critics, all that stuff. I just want to see what it looks like. And I think for me, as a fan who analyzes it all the time, this has been my dream scenario for as long as I can remember.
Your
And
dream
so I'm
scenario has been to get Walker Kessler.
no, just somebody that's a good center.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say this is like I was gonna say, like, you have some expectations, man. Like, I don't know.
But I think also
Dream about Giannis. Like,
I think what you could also say is like for Kessler is he Walker Kessler isn't the best center in the NBA, but I feel like playing with Luca, he's going to be trending upwards a lot more than people think.
well, yeah, obviously, but again, I just don't think he's that level of rim protector that the Lakers need.
I,
It,
I just I just think
it's
it's
just
possible.
the
I think it
value
might
of
work.
Walker Kessler does not equate to the price y'all paid, in my opinion. The
Yeah, I think the
assets y'all
price could
paid,
have
like
been
the
lower.
price y'all paid. Like, obviously, the price is one thing because yes, you are competing with other teams for his signature, but the picks had to be given. I can't necessarily justify it. I don't know. I'm not saying there were a lot of other better options on the market, but I just don't love this value right here.
I don't know. I think outside of the three that like Luca, Reeves, Kessler, cool. And I think a lot of the other things, like people that can come off the bench and play, Mom was probably going to start, but Mom was a great addition as a role player. Quentin Grimes can come off the bench and get on a heater at any point he wants. Our two rookie slash sophomore guys, our young guys in Adu and Cameron Carr, I've had a joy watching them in the summer league ball out.
Where's
And
Arthur Kaluma, bro? You gotta have
Kaluma.
minutes for
Oh my God, Kaluma, bro. Like that's gonna
bro.
be one of. I can't
RBG's
wait to see
biggest
him.
op.
Like, who are you?
That's
I can't wait for Kaluma hoops. I can't wait for Bronny to thrive without his dad there. I think me and my dad have been talking about this all the time. We think that
thrive,
Braun has hindered Bronny's development.
dude. He's on a flight right now to New York to go live with his dad.
No,
Come
we
on,
gotta
bro.
know.
We know it's gonna happen.
No.
I don't know. I just we'll talk more about y'all's roster construction in other videos because I feel like most of y'all's work was done in free agency.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't. I'm not crazy high on y'all, but I do think this is a move that makes y'all better. So
Absolutely.
at the end of the day,
I
you
think yeah.
can't hate on it too much. I just don't like the value.
Yeah, I think
And
my last point would be that in the realm of things, yeah, you got better, but of course in the West, you have to look at competing against OKC and San Antonio, and they're not there yet. Yet.
yeah, I think I'd put y'all still behind Minnesota as well.
I think top four for sure. I think Minnesota and LA are gonna tussle for like that top three seed.
I'm actually I'm a big believer, and I think Houston will probably bounce back a bit more. I think that I know a lot of people will say that sounds crazy, but it all depends on FVV's health, and if he can get anywhere near what he was the year before last year, then I think Houston could be competing
Yeah.
really like for that 3 seed, be up there.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know.
But we'll see how it plays out. We'll talk about it a lot more before the season starts. We got a couple months to break down all the teams and all the other stuff. But that was our offseason recap part one, the trade specials. Probably do another stuff talking about the smaller ones, but they're not as notable like Reese Shade of the Mavericks. Who cares about that? Um, but
They're
we'll be
not
back.
the native meant to Milwaukee trade. Let's just say that.
But we'll be back talking with more stuff of the offseason. Obviously, the draft, huge one this year. All the free agency moves. We'll be talking about all those kinds of things a little bit later. But for now, we're from the Nosebleeds. Welcome to season 3. It feels so nice to be talking about basketball again. And we'll catch y'all in the next